Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this. They go on the road to Blacksburg and put up 41 points and a
Oof.
34-point drubbing. No one on Virginia cracked double figures tonight. As a team, they shot 32.7% from the floor. They were 2 for 12 from three. They only shot 12 three-pointers. They had they had 12 turnovers and 17 field goals. This was about as bad of a performance as you can get, Randolph. What did you make of Virginia tonight?
Whew. Rob, this is hard to describe, man. That was ugly, bro. I mean, that was just a tail kicking. I mean, let's just start from the jump. I mean, both teams started out a little bit shaky, but afterwards, it was just like Virginia just decided to play in Virginia. I mean, I'm sorry, Virginia Tech decided to play, and UVA just didn't show up. I mean, they never got off the bus. I mean, that was a rivalry game. Tech was waiting for them. Fed off the crowd, man. Offensively, I was shocked that they would score as easy as they did. I
Mhm.
just for a team we kind of just said, hey, defensively they're elite. They weren't tonight, and that was just a flat out ass kicking, man.
There was a stretch at the end of the first half. I want to say like 8:15 left before the under 8 timeout. This game was tied. It was 14-14. It was ugly, but it was tied. It was exactly what you want, what Virginia would want out of a game like this. And then you look up with about 2 minutes left, a minute 15 left, and all of a sudden the score is 34-14. We saw a 20-0 run. We saw an 8-minute stretch where Virginia didn't score, right? And they go into the half, they're down 20, they're on the road. And look, this is just not a team that is built or has ever been built to be able to make second half runs and be able to find a way to get back into games like this. So it's worrisome to me because Virginia's more or less built to not get smacked like this, right? They are built to be able to hang around in close games and find a way to win those close games because they're better than you defensively and they execute better than you offensively. And to me, that is a big concern where this is not the first time that they've gotten their ass kicked on the road. Like it's becoming kind of a concerning trend. And the counterpoint here is that when you are playing in the NCAA tournament and when you're playing the ACC tournament, you're not playing road games in these March events, but you're still not playing at home. Right? Like I don't know. It's just not what I expected. It's like Virginia turned their season around, and then all of a sudden they showed up tonight, and we got December Virginia again.
You know what, Rob? In all honesty, this is the same team that Virginia's had for 2 years. They probably have the potential to shoot the ball better this year than they had last year. But for the last 2 years, they've been prone to scoring droughts like this and having, maybe not as ugly as performance as they had tonight, but they've struggled to score. They would go in stretches in 8, 9 minute stretches of games all the time, but usually they rely on their defense and they're controlling the pace. They couldn't do either. They didn't defend well tonight and they didn't control tempo. This was played at a Virginia Tech pace, and so if you know Virginia, you don't want to overreact to it. I mean, this is the same team. I think what's concerning is on the offensive end of the floor, they were able to beat Wake at home, but that was 49-47. Like, you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
hold people in the 40s. And that's the biggest concern they have to have is they're going to it's as simple as if they're going to make shots, McNeely and other guys coming off the bench got to step up and knock down shots. If not, they're going to struggle. And as much as I like Reese Beekman, he's a two-way guy. I think he's an all-conference guard. He's not a 20-game-a-night scoring guy. He does a lot for this team. And if he's off just a little bit, they're in trouble. Like, he has to be at his best for this team because so much of what he does, not just defending and scoring, but the other guys need his creativity off the bounce to make the game easier for these guys. And if they're not knocking down threes, man, then they're susceptible to these type of performances. They've done it the last couple of years.
The question that I was going to ask Randolph was: is this the kind of win that can get Virginia Tech back into the bubble conversation? But when you kind of break it down and you look at it, Virginia Tech's already above Virginia in a whole bunch of these metrics, right? They're 15-11 on the season. They're 7-8 in the ACC. And while Virginia was a game out of first place in the ACC coming into this game, it's not like this is the kind of win that it's going to be a quad 2 win. but this is not like the kind of win that's going to change a team's resume. Like that's where we are right now with Virginia. And I want to put that into context because Virginia Tech at home, as a team that has 15 wins in the season right now, beats their rival by 34. And it's not the kind of win that it doesn't even really help them all that much. You know, it just goes down as basically what it would normally be beating Clemson at home. So that's kind of where we are at with Virginia at this point.
Virginia dug themselves in a hole early, and they played themselves out of it. You know, and they were in the 21st ranked team in the country early this week. They lost. Now they're out. They're probably the first team and getting votes. They're right there. So they're in the top 30. The issue with Virginia Tech is winning away from Virginia Tech. When they were on the road, they're only 1-7 in conference play. Like you got to get wins on the road, and that's the difference in those two teams. Is that Virginia's defensively they traveled. You know, when they got Dante Harris back, and they got Harris, Minor back, they brought something to this team, and it helped elevate those guys. And so Virginia Tech has done this periodically throughout the last couple of years. They've started out pretty good, you know, and they started out slow and get sluggish, and then they finish off the second half of the season. They come in the ACC play just kicking ass and playing good basketball, and for whatever reason, they struggle early or in the midseason, and they seem to be headed in that same direction as they did tonight. But again, until they start winning away from home, it doesn't matter. I mean, this team has to start taking their show on the road. They're a tough out at home, but most teams are. But if you want to be an NCAA tournament team, you got to win on the road, and they haven't been able to do so yet. So we'll see if they're able to carry this on the road in future games.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.